Yeah, everybody, good morning. I'm Rakesh Resta. I'm here today to cover English class for grade 9, okay, for the purpose of distance educations. We are on air, and my today's topic for grade 9 students, okay, over there is reported speech. So we will directly prefer to move into the topic, okay. Let's see something on the screen, every one of us. We've got reported speech for today's class. I have chosen this for grade 9 because this is one of the most difficult sections in English. And when you go to grade 10 next year, okay, probably, okay, you're going to do a lot of work on this. Especially this is used for, okay, narrating stories and dramas. And in our everyday conversation, of course, we have to exchange our communication, our ideas, what we hear from others, okay, to the people whom we are talking to. And therefore, okay, contextually, this is going to be quite fun. Let's explore together. Reported speech. Okay, first thing is, like, what is reported speech? Like it is defined here. It's a speaker's words reported in subordinate clause governed by a reporting verb with the required changes of person and tense. Quite difficult to understand the definition because it is long, and unless you have an illustrations, okay, will not understand. So primarily, I will draw a sentence that is going to be an example for this, and then I will illustrate everything that we need okay, for understanding speech, and then we will continue with the exercises. For instance, learning reported speech. Okay, let's have an example here. I'll have an example. Sally said to, okay, John. Suppose this is Sally said to John. Now, what did Sally say to John? You are very smart. Suppose this is one speech, okay, of Sally. Likewise, I'll pick another one. Did you call me yesterday? This is the next, okay, speech by Sally. We have the same speaker. We have the same, okay, listener. Now, the basic ideas of reported speech is, in every reported speech example, okay, we need to identify, okay, the speaker. All right? Sally is our speaker. She speaks in the sentence. Now, who is John? John is the listener, or let's say we can understand this as an object, listening object. That is John. All right? Now, what is said? You have a said here. Said is reporting verb. Said is reporting verb. Said is reporting verb. Reporting verb is used by the speaker, okay, and the speech is communicated. If I do like this, if I exactly quote the same sentence, or let's say without making any changes, if I reproduce the speaker's, okay, uttered words and put them with quote marks like this, okay, in the beginning and at the end, I am using a direct speech. So this example is direct speech. This is direct speech. Why this is direct speech? Because I have not made any changes, any significant changes, okay, in the speaker's dialogue. Now, reporting verb is important in a sense because reporting verb can appear in varieties of tense. It can appear in past tense. Right here, it is past tense. But this verb can sometimes also appear in present tense, and it can also appear in future tense. My basic concern for today's class is not to focus on present and future, but past, because this is frequently asked in an examination. However, I will give a slight touch in addressing how to work out with present and future when they are used in reporting the statements. So, here in the speech, now few more things in the speech before we continue. You is a pronoun, so you also have to focus on the use of pronouns. The three pronouns you know: first person pronoun, second person pronoun, and third person pronoun. How to work on these pronouns while transforming the sentence, okay, from direct to indirect, the speech. We are going to work with some rules later. But right now, initially, what I'm trying to teach all of you is, whenever you try to work with reported speech, we have a speaker. The speaker, okay, is put usually in the beginning, and the speaker speaks something. The speaker uses a verb which is normally said to, and that is a reporting verb because the speaker is using this verb, okay, to speak something. And there is a presence of a listener, but it is not necessary that we always have listener in our reported speech example. Sometimes Sally can speak to himself, like Sally said, simply said, but not about somebody, okay, whom she is interacting to, but something about, okay, anything like she feels like Sally said, okay, she can speak to herself, I am smart. Rather than saying, telling this to John, you're very smart, she can just say, okay, I'm smart. Or Sally said, the weather is perfect today. Now, in that case, we will not have listener as an object. But when we have listener as an object, we need to focus on that particular aspect too. Speech, like you have read in grammar, the dialogue over here in quote marks can appear in any types of sentence. You can have assertive sentence, imperative sentence, exclamatory sentence, interrogative sentences. How far we can go with today's class, I am pretty not so sure, but we'll try to at least complete assertives and interrogatives, and if we are permitted by time, we will continue more. Okay, right now, this is one example. Before we move on to the other examples, I would like to make speech quite easy for all of you. So I'm going to draw a formula-like thing, not the traditional one with syntax, okay, but we're going to identify tense first. How many of you know all the types of tense? We know there are 12 types of tense. So right now, I'm going to draw all those 12 types of tense very quickly, okay, in simple abbreviations or short forms. So I have 4 tense of present. We know them. Let us write. The first tense we have is simple present. Then we have present continuous. You can write this later, it's going to help you a lot. Simple present, present continuous. Then we have present perfect. Then we have present perfect continuous. See, you have these 4 in present, and their similar past structures are, okay, simple past. Then you have past continuous. Then you have past perfect. Then you have past perfect continuous. And of course, in future, okay, you have simple future. You have future continuous. You have future, okay, perfect, and then you have future perfect continuous. This is what we know. All right. Now, what I'm going to teach you here is going to be interesting. If you're studying reporting verb, and your reporting verb is past tense, your teachers must have asked you to make a lot of changes while transforming, okay, the speech in the direct speech into indirect. What are the changes? Let's study here. I'll make it very easy. If your reporting verb in the reported speech is past tense, okay, and your speech are in these tense variation, I would simply try to make it easy by drawing these arrows. Now, what are these arrows? Okay, let me explain that to you. Suppose your speech is simple present tense and your reporting verb is past tense. So with that, when you are going to transform it, okay, into indirect speech from direct, if your tense there is simple present, it changes into simple past. Present continuous changes into past continuous. Present perfect into past perfect. present perfect continuous into past perfect continuous, which means, to put it very simply, we just need to change all present form into their respective past forms. Once you do it, it's done. Now, what if your speech in the direct are already past tense with all these varieties? Should you go back to present? Of course, no. So here, there is a tip and there is a quick understanding again. If your tense is simple past in the speech, we just need to jump one step further by missing, this. So which means if your tense is simple past in the direct speech, when it becomes indirect, you just need to put it into past perfect tense. And when it is past continuous, that changes into past perfect continuous. What about, if the speech, in the quote marks are already past perfect and past perfect continuous tense? So they do not change, they remain the same. Remember once again, if they're all present, all significant present variations changes into their respective past structures. When it is simple past, jump one step further, go to past perfect. When it is past continuous, go to past perfect continuous. And if they are past perfect and past perfect continuous, no changes at all. Now, what about future? Future is going to be much easier compared to the other two, because in future, you simply use the word will, which transforms, into the word would. Similarly, the can become could, may can become might. That is easy. Now, once you have this comprehensive picture of understanding tense, you also need to have a small comprehension on exchanging or using pronouns, while interchanging speech. For this, we have got sun rule. Now, what is this sun rule? Let me explain. Sun, there are 3 letters. So first S is first, then you have second, then you have 3. So with that, what do I understand is, if I use S1, this S is actually the speaker that I had mentioned a moment ago while I gave you one example. We studied one example before we started with this. So there, I told you that every reporting speech, or reported speech, has the example of a speaker. So this S is a speaker, which means first person pronoun. O is the object or the listener. I don't have a space here, so I'm drawing a line over here. This is a listener, and listener is also understood as object. See, this is second personal pronoun. N stands for none. This stands for none, all right? So none means like, you don't need to change, for third personal pronoun. First personal pronoun, change according to the speaker. Second personal pronoun, change according to the object who is a listener. And third personal pronoun, don't change it. If you have got this, as a backup in your head, I am sure you can solve any kinds of examples in reported speech. Now, we will take some examples. But before that, I would like to share something, right over here on the screen. See the speech bubbles here, When you talk about speech, we're not talking about human beings as speaker, all right? Speaker can be anybody. Right here you can see the dog is the speaker and the dog is telling, feed me, pat me, play a frisbee with me, take me out, and all this. So sometimes you can even have non-living objects talking about something. We just understand the concept of speech here. We're not trying to focus on the speaker as a human being. A few examples here on the screen, and then we will be rolling with examples relying on this particular idea. My village friend said to me, we walk hours to reach school. So look at this first example, in white texture. My village friend is the speaker. Said to is the reporting verb. With the reporting verb, if I can just draw it here, I think this is covered. See, said to. Basically, said to is always the reporting verb to show the example of direct speech. But once you transform the direct speech into indirect speech, said to becomes, told. Said to can become asked. Okay, said to can become, okay, confessed. Said to can become denied. There are many reporting verbs like compelled, forced, enabled, allowed, permitted, questioned, interrogated, inquired. But we are not going to go after all. For grade 9 and for grade 10 too, okay, understanding said to with its transformation told and asked is enough. But here, one thing that is interesting is, okay, let me just put that part. Remember, we're doing reported speech for grade 9. I need a space, so I have robbed, okay, the information that I've displayed. I hope you have copied for the exercises we are going to go together. I was talking about the reporting verb said to. Said takes to and then object. There's a listener. But many students, okay, they write something like, okay, our example, Sally told to Jack. Okay, we do not use to with told. Sally said to Jack is used, but Sally told Jack directly, told Jack. Sally asked Jack. We don't use Sally asked to and Sally told to. This is what, okay, many people make mistakes. So I have just reminded you of not making this in your examples. Come back to the screen. My village friend said to me, my village friend is the speaker. Me is the object. We walk hours to reach school is a speech directly, okay, quoted here. Now, if I am going to convey this particular speech to a friend of mine, okay, what my village friend said, if I put it like we walk hours to reach school, I'm using direct speech because I have not made any changes, okay, in the sentence. But I will make some changes, okay, like this. My village friend told me that they walked hours to reach school. So what I've done here is said to changes into told, me is the object, that they walked. Now look at the difference. In the direct speech, there is walk, but in the indirect speech, the same verb walk now becomes walked. That happens because of the explanation that I have made. It's a specific rule you have to abide by. It's human to communicate what we talk about, and therefore we keep on sharing ideas. So here is one more example for you. Jack said to Justine, the best part of the school is friendship. Here, Jack is the speaker. Said to is the reporting verb because we use this verb to report, okay, the speech of Jack to Justine. And Jack said to Justine, the best part of the school is friendship. Now, reporting this indirectly, I use the same speaker, Jack. Said to is put into bracket, is changed into told because you have an object. So Jack told Justine that the best part of the school was friendship. So here too, is changed into was. This transformation has occurred because of the rule that we have followed. One more example, the teacher said to Polly, what is your name? Now this example is very interesting because there is a controversy. And I have highlighted the controversy, okay, using was in green and is in red. Is may not be so much visible to you, but there is after the verb was. The teacher said to Polly, what is your name? It's a question asked. The teacher asked. Now I use the verb asked because the nature of the speech within the quote marks is a question, and therefore instead of saying asked because it was not told, okay, this is asking something. So I brought the change. The teacher asked Polly what her name was. Now in this transformation, there's two things which are important. First, what is your name? Is it a question? So the question format in every assertive sentence, or interrogative sentence that you have in the direct speech, when changed into indirect, all indirect statements are put into assertive structure. So you have a transition there, and that is what her name, okay, was. See there, what is the difference? What her name was or is with full stop at the end, and what, okay, was or is her name with a question mark. Many of us, okay, we're not habituated with these ideas. Actually, they get confused with this particular sentence. What was or what is her name? This is a question format, and I have already told you in indirect speech, we do not use question format. We always use assertive sentence structure with a full stop at the end. So this is the right answer for this. But which one is the right verb? Was or were? Some people might say it's was, some people might say is, some people even may say like, I'm okay with this both. But we are following rules. We're following the prescriptive grammar for exams. So you have to abide by the rules. Now what does the rule say? The rule says, if you remember something that I have drawn before, the tenses, present all here on the left, past in the middle, and future on the right. So that tells you, if it is present, it has to change, everything into past, except for the universal cases. If there are universal phenomenon or phenomena, facts that cannot change, that everyone agrees, you can. But here, someone might even say, if you say what her name is, it tells you that she has not changed her name. It's the same. But for me, in a sentence, it is not justified, and I cannot, fight and pursue someone that it is the case. I simply assume that I'm applying rules here. So in a way possible, we are going to apply rules, and therefore the answer for this should be the teacher asked Polly what her name was. Follow the rules, always. The last examples, and then we will move into a lot of other exercises. Bob said to Jim, when did you paint your farmhouse? Look at the question again. Bob is the speaker, said to is the reporting verb, Jim is the listener, Jim is listening to Bob, and he asks a question, when did you paint your farmhouse? So we have interrogative in the speech, and this is WH question type, and when it is WH question type, we use the same WH word, the answer, over here is there. Bob asked Jim when he had painted. Now, interesting thing here, again, is look at the tense, the direct speech has got did, but in the answer you have got had plus verb 3 transformation. Why this transformation? I have already told you this transformation is possible because of the rules. What is did if you add plus verb 1? Did plus verb 1. What is this plus verb 1? This is simple past tense, and simple past tense changes into jump one step further. That is what I told you. So past perfect tense, remember that, and that's why you got the answer. Bob asked Jim when he had painted his farmhouse, and instead of ask, you can or we can use wanted to know or inquire or questions. I have already told you there are many reporting verbs. Now it's time for us to move on with the exercises, and for that, we will ignore this part. How can it make it easy? I have already drawn that. This one tells you about the traditional way of learning, speech, simple present tense, simple past tense, and structures and everything. We're skipping that part. Now, where should the focus lie? Once again, remember, you need to know who the speaker is. You need to know who the object is. You need to know, the reporting verb and its type. It can appear in 3 different tenses: present, past, and future. And you got to know the verb varieties for indirect speech, pronouns, the son rules that I've explained. And then tense, you got to identify, because this is the major part of learning speech. If you do not know tense, you will never get the right answer. So the first thing is you have to identify the particular tense among the random number of sentences that are given to us in exams. And of course, the sentence types. Today we will try with probably 2. Ideas and diagrammatic illustrations. In fact, I have already drawn that for you before. You must have copied it. Sun rule is already explained. Now we are going to pick up some sentences. I will do number 1 and one more number. We'll try to make it simple, See here. Zoe said to, Mark. Joe said to Mark, you went to London, last year. Or if you're just confused, on this Write any sentence that your mind can think of, just like I have written. You went to London. Then, how do we transfer this into, okay, indirect speech? We'll try to make it very easy. See here. Okay, Joe is a speaker. We are using the speaker for sure. Okay, this is Zoe said to. It's a statement made there. So, I will use told. This is told. Zoe told Mark. Joe told Mark. Now, who is this you? I told you the son rule. You is a second person pronoun, and second person pronoun according to the son rule, 1, 2, 3, is the object, the listener. Who is the listener here? Mark is the listener. So, Joe told Mark, okay, that is optional. I really do not focus on this conjunction because this is optional. Joe told Mark that, okay, he, this is you is he, okay, is that his object? That is you. You went to London, so Joe told Mark that he, what is the tense now? Tense is went. This is verb to. And past tense, it changed into its respective, okay, one step jump. I told you that. And what is the past perfect of went? It's had gone. And your answers would become now, Joe told Mark that, okay, he had gone to London, okay, had gone to London. Here is here, but what do you need to do with last, okay? Can you write, he had gone to London last year, or you prefer to write it, okay, a little change on that, okay, previous year. He had gone to London previous year. So that is how we solve. Now take more examples, one or two more. We don't have a lot of time in dealing with many examples, so I will try to make it quite simple. I'll use continuous tense once. Okay, this is a name. Susma said to, okay, Peter, we are, okay, visiting. We're visiting, okay, our relatives. See, randomly, I have just thought of a sentence. We're visiting relatives. Now, how do you transfer? Susma is a speaker. Said to changes into told, because this is, okay, statement. Told who? Peter. Then we have got a pronoun. This pronoun is we, is a first person pronoun. So first person pronoun is Susma, but she's not alone here. Okay, since she has used we, that changes into they. Okay, Susma told Peter they. Or if you're confused with that, you can even have I here, okay, and am here. See, Susma said to Peter, I am, okay, visiting, okay, then it becomes my relatives. But right now, we have used we are visiting, okay, our relatives. Susma is trying to say that she's not the only one. There are many others. Susma told Peter, okay, they were, because this is present continuous, and present changes into its respective past structure. So Susma told Peter they were visiting, okay, our becomes their relatives. This is how it works. Quite easy. With the same speaker and the object, one last sentence for today because time is running out. If I just give you this sentence, okay, a question, let's go for any other tense. All right, the tense is you, okay, liked. You liked sweets. If this is a statement, Susma said to Peter, you like sweets. So, Susma, okay, told Peter that she is a speaker. So, she like becomes past tense. She liked sweets. That is how we try to work with reported speech. Many examples to go, okay. There are quite a lot of examples I have taken. For the last few minutes, let's say a minute or two, if we have and we can go together, I would like to do it right here, okay, something from the screen. Maria said to Saif, why don't you speak English. If that is a speech, it's an interrogative sentence. Now, Maria said to Safe becomes Maria asked Safe. And Maria asked Safe. It's a WH question, why? So, why don't you speak English? Why you didn't speak English? Or that you is becomes to, okay, you is Safe, so why he didn't speak English becomes the right answer for this. All right, my students, I know 30 minutes is very less, okay, and I just try to help you with understanding speech. With my drilling with the grammar today, practice a lot and make sure you show your practice work to your teachers, take feedbacks. I will meet you again, okay, next time. See you again. Till then, okay, bye-bye. Have a wonderful day out there.